for those of you who have not watched or not listened to a Curse of the Rewatch episode before, this segment, we fix the movie. We remake it for 2022. The premise is, of course, this movie has never happened before. In this case, it wouldn't matter if this movie happened before because I don't intend to save any parts of this film. But basically, you're just trying to see. We're just trying to see if we can make a good versus movie because honestly, who knows more about movies than me? Steven Spielberg.
True.
And that's it. That's the end of the list. Shout out to Steven Spielberg, I guess. I don't really.
Shout out to, I mean, again, that's like, I mean, he's a very he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Not much else to say. I don't even have a joke for that one.
So you walked the opposite of the greatest pictures in Hollywood history, Bishop and Shabazz, as I said before. The question is, who are we getting to make this movie? So I had a couple ideas.
Okay.
Let me know if you got a couple ideas as well. So I wanted to.
I don't want to make this movie again. I want to put this out there, guys. It's like I don't think this needs to be made again. But I'm sorry.
No, but I think there is a version. That's what I said. That's why I think the concept is good. The concept of this movie works, which is why I think there is a version of this movie that is good. And to direct that movie, we're going to get John Watts, who also, again, the point of the exercise is to be like realistic. Obviously, we're going to get fucking Steven Spielberg and Aaron Sorkin to write it, and then get The Rock and somebody else to star in it. Actually, I don't really want The Rock in this movie, but you get the point.
It's a very insane. I mean, like, listen, I like them all, but I wouldn't want Quentin. I wouldn't want.
No, I just listed a bunch of famous names that the Fred counts on my head. That movie would be terrible. Actually,
that would be not a good movie.
But John Watts, who I guess is most famous for directing the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogies. I don't know if people know who the director of like Marvel movies are, but so that's why I think John Watts should be good because Spider-Man obviously has the action and the comedy that I'm looking for in this kind of movie. But also, if you haven't seen his first movie, Cop Car with Kevin Bacon, very well made. He also wrote that, and he has directed the first 2 episodes of The Old Man, a show that I am absolutely obsessed with now, and is like very well shot and paced, and like turns what I think is like a pretty pedestrian. That's not fair. It's a well written show too, but I think it's like a really boilerplate idea of a show into something really special, and I think he's a big part of that. So that's why I think John Watts would be perfect for this kind of movie, which is like in a lot of ways sort of a high concept film that, given the right talent, you could turn into something great. It's like Beverly Hills Cop, right? Beverly Hills Cop is like
I do like
fun
this,
idea.
Yeah. And I think if we decide to actually go in a bit more of like, depending on how grounded we want to keep, and I know we kind of you do use him a lot because I think like, so I don't really want to put this as like a number one choice because I think I like John Watts as a choice for this. Would be Matthew Vaughn, I think, as a backup. And I'm more like kind of focusing on like the old Kingsman because I think it does such a good job doing the fish out of water with one of the guys being very good in martial arts.
Yeah, I considered Matthew Vaughn. The hang up for me there was because I mean I love the first Kingsman. I'm absolutely obsessed with A Layer Cake and Kick Ass, and I love First Class. This most recent Kingsman movie, I didn't.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm. Yeah, no, that was. I'm not saying you definitely shouldn't write it, and I definitely think he should have a lot less influence on how the story is paced, basically.
Yeah,
because that most recent, the last 2 Kingsman movies have not been good.
I sort of like the second one. The second one I think is like goofy and fun a lot of ways.
It's goofy. But it's like I think it's like a bit too goofy, man. I think it's like I think that's like a bit too cartoonish. I'm kind of hoping he like figures it out for whenever he does the next one.
He's got a couple movies coming out pretty soon, so hopefully. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff he's made that I really enjoy. I like Matthew Vaughn a lot. I do think if I was picking, I'd still go with John Watts, just because I think like the Spider-Man movies have no right to be as well made as they are, because usually those Marvel movies, they're not like the best pieces of directing cinema, but
it seems like they're kind of doing it. Well, this isn't the conversation for that right now, but it seems like they're kind of starting to go into a different trend of that, at least.
Mm-hmm. I think so. It seems that way, which is only good news.
I'm sure we're gonna have more of a conversation on that in a couple of weeks when we talk about Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. As far as who would be a good writer for this movie, I picked. I think my favorite current screenplay writer and that's Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who 2 years ago I would have been like ridiculous choice by me. Who she's like famous for Fleabag and Killing Eve and Crashing, three shows that are not really anything like what I'd want from a action comedy movie. But last year she wrote No Time to Die, massive budget action movie of James Bond, for those of you who don't remember. And then coming up, she's got the Mr. and Mr. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith show that she's co-writing and co-creating. So
a lot of casting
if it's anything like the movie, if it's anything like the movie, kind of the exact tone I'd be looking for. So, I think she's the best working screenwriter right now.
I agree. No, I was gonna say I think that's a really good choice. It was like, especially with Killing Eve. I think, if anything, I don't think I would really want this to be. I mean, this movie that we watched was not a comedy, but I figured that they kind of wanted it to be a comedy, and I think it was like
right. That's my point.
I think if anything, this should be like an action movie with like jokes in it, which I think, yeah.
Well, I mean, Killing Eve, for those of you who haven't seen it, is like the perfect example of tone. Is what I think would work in a movie like this, where it is at times. Villanelle can be like absolutely ridiculously funny. Like some of the stuff that Jodie Comer is doing in that show is the funniest stuff I've ever seen. And then sometimes that show is like horrifying and brutal. And I think that's the sort of tone that. Same with like going back to John Watts. Same with the stuff in Spider-Man where the first 5/6 of Spider-Man: Homecoming is like a really fun ride, and then a steel beam drops on Spider-Man's chest, and it's like a very harrowing experience for a second, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I think it really works.
He has one of those per movie, and they are always fucking. He's good at that. I don't actually remember the one.
I still can't believe they fucking did May like that, though. I'm still mad
about
it.
It's such a good scene. It was a good ass scene, though.
I know it was a really good scene. I just. No, it was. It absolutely was a good scene.
No Way Home was a fucking depressing ass movie, and especially when the Homecoming is such a fun, upbeat movie, and then No Way Home is just like this was. I feel bad now.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to go back and rewatch it again. Because
I'm gonna do a little Marvel run in preparation for Thor. I think so. I will be watching that. All right, so for our cast, I thought I just recast the 5 main characters. I didn't bother casting many of the other side characters. So starting with our 3 good guys, I went with, for Bulletproof Monk, Donnie Yen, star of my favorite Star Wars movie. Carr, John Boyega, because my favorite Star Wars movie. Let's be very clear, but I will never get over his performance in Attack the Block. I think it's still one of my favorite performances of all time in a movie.
I have a feeling. I don't know. I have no reason to base this off of, but I have a feeling that he was like 5 years away from like kind of having like a like career. I think he just needs to be in like one good blockbuster movie.
It's a bad movie. Let's be very, very clear. Which he keeps getting. I think he keeps delivering good performances in bad movies. But his
the Idris Elba effect.
Yeah. Although Idris Elba has some good ones under his belt. John Boyega doesn't have many.
No.
But his movie last year, Naked Singularity, with starring him and Olivia Cook, he is very good in this movie that I don't think works at all in a lot of ways, and I think a lot of that has to do with Chase Palmer, who's the director of that, who is, I think that's his like first feature film, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's his first time directing a feature film, and he's just like out of his depth. But he has a lot to offer, and even in that fucking unwatchable Pacific Rim movie, he's really good.
Yeah.
For some reason, Charlie Day is in it, like possessed by spiders or something. It's such a weird fucking movie.
I remember reading like a weird like Reddit thread being like, I was like somebody was just like, it sounded like an insane person being like, yeah, no, I was like involved in the pitch for Pacific Rim 2, and he was like listing out everything that happened in that movie. Everyone's like, this sounds like fucking dog shit, you're a fucking liar. And I hate that he was right about everything, because I think it was fucking dog shit.
It's one of the most, I think it's one of the most egregious examples of like the bloat and in a lot of ways, I still love movies, but the undeniable like decline of Hollywood is that movie, because the first Pacific Rim is like this film made by this genuine auteur. I know some people are not as like high on the Guillermo del Toro hive as we are.
Fucking won an Oscar.
Yeah, you can't deny that he is like, in a lot of ways, like a sort of singular filmmaker, and he made this giant monster movie, and it's just got all of these really fun elements in it. And Idris Elba is incredible. Charlie Hunnam, who I ride for to the day I die, is great. Simu Liu, who at the time I don't think anybody really knew, he wasn't like a household name, also in that movie. And then the second one is, it's like a fucking paint by numbers blockbuster that has nothing to do with anything, and then it stars, and they just threw a bunch of kids in it for some reason. It's incomprehensible. But yeah, I would love John Boyega to be in this movie because I think he's great, and I think this movie could be great with him. And also, my version's set in London because all my people are English, because I have a problem, except for Jade, who I'm stealing from Kick-Ass, the great Chloe Grace Moretz, sorry, has proved that she can. Yeah, it's proved that she can be like a sassy, fun action star. I know Kick-Ass 2 is not nearly as good as the first one, but
I never even saw it, honestly. It's like, because I really like Kick-Ass, and I just kept forgetting about it, honestly.
It's not terrible. I know there's a lot of people who like really hate it, which I don't really get. Like, it's not great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. I think what it is it's nowhere near as good as the first one, which made people really upset. As obviously we're just talking about Pacific Rim, but I think there are parts of it that really work, and she's really good in it. And like I said, it's proved that she can do the action really well. So did you have picks for your three leads? Did you want to recast?
I mean, I definitely like the Donnie Yen pick. I was trying to think of another like martial artist to kind of put in there, because it's like a weird like bubble area right now where we don't really have a lot of like examples of like the older.
I thought about Jet Li.
I thought about Jet Li, but I don't think he does. Like, I don't think his like, body
recently.
I don't think his body lets him like actually. I think like he actually like has a physical like he can't actually do it, and I kind of think somebody needs to have some
even
physicality
he's basically
to
just
it.
sitting the whole time. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, yeah. And it's like the other option. I mean, Jackie Chan is like a very obvious option.
Still out here working. Still out here
working. I'm just trying to think.
I haven't seen a Jackie Chan movie. I don't think like in like 7 years, but he's making them still. That's not true. I saw The Foreigner for some reason, and it was terrible.
And I think I really do like the John Boyega pick, because I'm trying to think of somebody like I wanted someone like early 30s, who would definitely fit in that, who can like get have a sense of humor to it. I think, but you don't want someone. I didn't want like a too young. Cause I mean, like I was even thinking like Tom Holland, but I'm like I kind of was so taken out of Uncharted because I'm so used to him being a child, even though he's like 25 at this point.
Yeah, the scene where he's like bartending and hitting on women is made me uncomfortable for some reason.
It was weird. Like when he was like he was like an alcoholic in that movie, and I was like,
yeah,
this is weird, right?
I'm sure Tom Holland, who like you said is in his mid-20s, loves that we're like, look at this child. He's 2 years younger than us.
Is it bad to typecast Simu Liu in another martial arts film?
No, I thought about it. The only thing I kind of like like I said, I think I like really actually do think I like about the first movie is the fish out of water thing, and I like the idea of there's not.
Really, we can still keep him
around the UK, but
yeah, I mean he could be like he can still be like American or something like that. I just kind of think. I don't know. I think like I kind of wanted a young actor who could actually do the physicality of it. And it's like kind of like
Liu has proved that he absolutely can. So I agree. Yeah. That's a good choice. I wonder what his next thing is. Actually, I was thinking about him when I was going through this exercise. I wonder. So is his next thing a Marvel movie? No, something called One True Love.
He's in. Is he in that? So. I feel like I'm making this up, but isn't he in the Russo brothers movie coming up, like The Gray Man? I might be making that up though.
He is not according to his IMDb.
For instead of what's it called? What's whatever her fucking name is, Jade. I'm gonna
Jamie
go
King or Chloe Grace Moretz.
No, I was talking about the character's name.
Bad Girl. What do you mean? What's her name? Bad Girl.
I'm gonna go pull out one of my favorite actresses, Diane Guerrero from Doom Patrol. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. I feel like she has so much personality, which is like the exact
Yeah.
opposite of what Jamie King had, and I kind of like think you
Yes,
need to kind of bounce
hard
it
to
off of
disagree
things.
with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like her a lot, and I feel like she would just like have a lot of fun doing this. I mean, she has a lot of fun playing three different characters on this other show. And
I mean,
as for my
she's a
bad,
great actress, yeah, for sure.
yeah, and as for my bad guy, I don't who's a stereotypical like, you know what? I was about to say like just put Christoph Waltz.
I mean,
What the
I
fuck?
picked basically the British Christoph Waltz. I went Tim Roth for Strucker.
That's actually a pretty good one.
I absolutely, I'm in the Tim Roth hive like fucking nobody else. I watched both seasons of Tin Star, a truly terrible television show, and I've seen Lie to Me more than once. So I just think he's absolutely incredible. Yeah.
And okay, so here's going to be my pick because we're picking somebody vaguely European as this pick. I'm picking Tom Walshishia. I want to say he's currently cast in Stranger Things season 4 as the Russian guard, but also known from Game of Thrones. Yeah, that guy. I got that guy. The man with no name. I don't fucking know. Put some random no name as as his daughter.
Well, so Nina, I've talked about this show once before. I think Claire Dune from Kin, she's an Irish actress, and I think one, she's incredible in Kin. But the thing I really like about her Kin character is the first season of Kin is like a mini version of Breaking Bad, where you watch this woman go from like housewife who's trying to ignore the fact that her family is embroiled in crime to at the end of the season is basically the crime lord of the family, and you watch her like make this journey from somebody who seems, and obviously it's not the case, who like seems sort of like a wilting flower in this, and then and you realize she's very brutal and as despicable as many of the people that we've seen in this show. And she's also just really good, like in this movie herself from 2 years ago. She's fantastic, just a great actress, and I would love to introduce more Americans to her. Also, apparently is in Far From Home, but I don't remember who the hell she is in that movie. So, but shows up on her IMDb. So, yeah, Claire Dune. I don't know. I think like I said, I think this movie could work. There's no point in going over like what
I
movie
think
cut
she
and
was
what we had.
I think she was the woman who gave Peter his costume. Like the one who's like randomly in like that random like they get off the bus and she like gives Peter like his costume and then the guy walks in while he's just like half naked in front of this random European woman.
Oh,
It's like a
that's
quick
sort of,
gag basically.
yeah. I haven't seen Far From Home in a while, but that
It was a very quick gag, but it was just an older woman telling a young boy to take off his clothes. Thanks, John Watts, the director of our movie.
I don't think. You're making it sound much worse than it actually is. And also, I'm not sure that's John Watts' fault.
I'm joking. This is a big joke.
So, quickly running down our films. For me, I've got directed by John Watts, written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The Monk is Donnie Yen. Carr, John Boyega. Jade, Chloe Grace Moretz. Strucker, The Great Tim Roth. And Nina, Claire Dune. Corey, your film?
Monk, Jackie Chan. Carr. Did I say John Boyega again? I think I don't think I think we actually kind of just like ended up being like I have no fucking idea who I would put in this movie. Besides John Boyega.
I think that's a good start. John Boyega, Jackie Chan is a movie
I think John Boyega or Simu Liu. I think those were my two picks. Jade, Diane Guerrero. Strucker, that guy from Stranger Things. I'm not going to say his name again. And I said Nina. I think we should give it to a no name.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try.
New face is always good.
Not even going to fucking try.
We do not have a new movie to announce unless, Corey, you got one to pull out of your hat.
Not out of my hat, no. I think we're probably going to do some regular episodes for a bit before we kind of hop into that. So
yeah, our plan is I think we've got 2 regular episodes. I got to check our text messages. 2 regular episodes, and then a reminder again, because it's a big fat book, so you should be reading it already. We're going to be doing Monsters by Brian Windsor Smith. That's our book club for. I think it's been our book club since like May, but of course everything got out of whack. we will be talking about Hero Guys in the next episode. We'll be talking about what else? Something else came out recently that maybe we'll go back and revisit Miss Marvel, which
we're gonna be Obi-Wan Kenobi finale. We're gonna be also talking about the Stranger Things season 4 finale, which is coming out this Friday. So we have a lot to be talking about next week, guys. Not be able to do Thor next week because I'm going out of town, unfortunately. So hopefully I'll be able to see Thor the week after it comes out. My work schedule is a bit in flux. So we will see when that happens. But after that, I'm going to be unemployed. So if you guys have any kind of job openings, please reach out to nextsomeonepodcast@gmail.com because I need a job. I'm not joking. This is a
I know. It's just,
I'm not joking.
Very abrupt way to end the podcast. Unless you want to talk more about your employment status.
Yeah, no, I'm a writer, a podcaster. I have TV production experience. Let me know.
Yeah, we'll be back with Corey still here because I'm not going to fire him just yet.
You don't even pay me.
Else? I don't even pay me. What do you mean? Nobody's making any money off of this endeavor.
I have not yet. I have nothing else.
But if you guys subscribe, if you're watching the YouTube video, don't forget to like and all that good stuff. If you're listening to the podcast, please go rate us 5 stars on all your preferred podcast platforms. We're all over the place. It really helps us out. It helps new people find the podcast, all that good stuff. If you've enjoyed, if you made it this far into the episode, you must have enjoyed it, or maybe you fell asleep or something. But either way, I think it's really it's just an easy way to support us. So it really help us out. Anything else for the people, Corey?
Nothing else for the people, guys.
All right. Well, I've been Che.
I've been Corey.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Sweet Christmas.